I'm Hugh, and today I'm making these basic apps ultra realistic. Let's start with YouTube. So YouTube icon is the play button, right? But a long time ago, YouTube actually used a TV as its icon. I could have used that for the design, but I had a more interesting idea. If video sharing is the main shtick of YouTube, then there is one old school way to share videos: tapes. So I grabbed an image of a VHS cassette that looked more or less historically accurate and cleaned it up. It still wasn't reading as YouTube, so I made a few adjustments to bring it closer to the brand's colors and overall look. The paper label was sticking out way too much from the rest of the composition, so I solved this problem by using a highly advanced design technique, removing everything with the help of AI. For now, I'll need it later apparently. I also replaced the cassette reel element, mainly because this version reads much more clearly as a cassette. It's just more recognizable. They say changing the order of numbers doesn't change the sum, but in my case, moving things around helped me figure out a better composition. I placed the cassette reels inside the play button shape to fill that empty triangle, but I wanted some depth to the icon, so I kept part of the tape visible, filled the triangle with solid red, and added shadows and highlights to sell the effect. Then I started missing the paper label I had deleted earlier, so I brought it back, placed it under the logo, and used blending modes to make it fit better and inherit the red color scheme. And with that, the cassette containing AI slop, Minecraft Let's Plays, and video essays about why we can't just print more money was complete. To navigate through this video, I'm moving on to the maps icon. So how do I make it look more realistic? Do I use map footage, or do I build the whole thing from scratch? The location shown on the maps icon is actually a real place, Apple's corporate headquarters in Cupertino, California. That gave me the idea of finding a real aerial photo of the Apple Park. I thought it would be fun to recreate it using realistic footage. I placed the road and the park in the same positions as the original icon. I started landscaping the area around the road by adding texture of grass. Then I grabbed a screenshot from the map near Apple Park and added a section with buildings. I added the park to the left side of the road. The foundation was there. Right now everything looks like separate elements, because, well, they are. So I opened Camera Raw and started color correcting everything until the whole thing felt a lot more cohesive. Shadows also played a big role here. They're not super noticeable, but they do a ton. First, shadows are cool. Second, they add dimension and make everything have the same light source. And third, they are cool. If you were wondering what those weird green dots on the grass were, those are trees. And the shadows help make that a lot more obvious. As a professional landscaper with almost 10 minutes of experience, I added a fence around the park and planted more grass nearby. This is Silicon Valley, so it called for more activity. I brought back the cars that were originally in the road texture. I didn't add the car for no reason. I wanted to place a navigation arrow on top of it, just like in the original Apple Maps icon. I selected the roof of the car with lasso tool. Then I sampled the color directly from the original icon and applied a blending mode. Next came the arrow itself. I traced the shape from the original icon, changed the color, added a gradient, and even threw in some highlights. And just like that, the icon started looking less like a graphic and more like a photo of a real location. The next icon on the list is ChatGPT. Before I could do anything with it, I had to figure out what that symbol actually means. Of course, I wasn't going to ask ChatGPT. It's always more interesting to hear what your competitors think about you. According to Gemini, it's an interlocking loop, independent continuous paths that link and overlap together. Okay, that's just some space. If ChatGPT is all about endless connections and information, then a cosmic vortex feels like a realistic direction. So I grabbed footage of the Milky Way and used it as the background for the icon. Fun fact, ChatGPT even has its own brand color, and it's called, very creatively, ChatGPT Green. Out of respect for the brand palette, I tried pushing the colors at least a little closer to green. The main goal was to create something blurry and swirling, like it was pulling everything inward, including my eyes and stomach. So for the next 10 minutes I played with my finger. The smudge tool. Then I hit the ChatGPT logo layer and immediately realized the idea wasn't working. The shape just wasn't readable. As any mature professional would, I blamed the background, so I swapped it for another one. Then I grabbed the smudge tool again and started dragging the edges of the logo along the flow of the galaxy. Ideally, it should create a sense of movement. See, I told you the background was the problem. Someone get me a medal for persistence. Next, I added a gradient and used vivid light blending mode to make the background more vibrant. For the final touch, I applied radial blur to enhance the motion around the vortex. The movement got so intense, I practically got motion sickness while editing. In the end, I decided to get rid of the main outline around. First, I filled the whole icon with a dark blue color, then lowered the opacity a bit so I could still see the edges of the swirl. So I erased the swirl shape from the blue fill and finally removed the original logo underneath. It looked good, but it still needed more contrast. So I changed the fill's blend mode to color dodge, which makes the bright areas pop while pushing the dark background even deeper. Then I added a nice little star in the middle. That also helped the chat logo stand out more. And just like that, the cosmic ChatGPT icon was done. Hopefully this black hole doesn't end up sucking us in. Time for the next icon. Amazon, delivered straight to my Photoshop canvas. Before I started, I saved the icon's most recognizable details. Luckily, there weren't many. The smile and the blue tape on the box. I already knew how I wanted to make this one more realistic. No Amazon package arrives this clean. That's not realistic. This thing needed to be absolutely destroyed. So I overlaid the icon with a texture of worn out cardboard. Then I added two more textures. One from a ripped up box and another with holes in the cardboard. This is basically the visual equivalent of "Your package was handled with the utmost care, sir." I used a magnetic lasso to isolate the smile so I could paint only that area. For the brush, I picked one with a pencil texture. Next, I added the handling symbols you usually see on shipping boxes. You know, the ones that are supposed to tell people how to transport the package. So I selected the icons, then redrew them using the same pencil textured brush. I used the same approach for the barcode. Let's pretend it would somehow help prevent the package from getting lost and make tracking easier. The numbering went in as regular text, much easier. The tape also got an upgrade. In my version, everything needed to look crumpled, scratched and overused. And now this finally looked like a realistic Amazon logo. Just like in real life, I saved health for last. Realism is important in this challenge. The idea was to recreate the icon. I wanted to build it inside an actual heart rate monitor. So I started to put its composition together. I added the heartbeat line, then duplicated the background across the screen, and of course, I added the heart using a blending mode. Then came the painful part. I wanted to use the glowing heartbeat numbers from a real monitor. To keep that glow, I had to cut everything out perfectly. As you can imagine, that was an unreasonable amount of work. And after all that, the glow disappeared anyway. Cool. I still placed the number 69. Sorry it wasn't 67. After that, I adjusted everything to fit the rounded square icon format and added a shadow. It looked decent, but it still didn't match the original Apple Health icon. So I made the monitor white. Then I gave the display itself a red tint, which brought it much closer to the original color palette. I also swapped the heart for a different one, painted it red and added a subtle glow around it. Same story with the numbers. I finally changed it to 67, using a watch style font called 7 segment. I wish you a heart rate of 67 beats per minute. Let me know if any of these 5 realistic icon versions would be worth pitching to Apple.